Hey everybody, welcome to the Wolverine Airsoft 2022 product reveal. We're so excited you're here with us today, whether in person or online. We've got a lot of great things going on and coming out. And as we think about that, I'm excited that you guys are in-house with us. We got a good crowd today, but if you're online, we already know one of three things. You are one of three people groups that is watching this right now. Number one, you are an airsoft addict, and if that's the case, you've got the day off, you're chilling, and you're excited about what's coming up for 2022. If that's the case, I want you to go ahead and in the comments section, I want you to post your name or your call sign, whatever you want to do, and then also make sure you like and share this video with all of your friends. You might be in people group number two, which is you're at work or you're at school and you shouldn't be watching this, but you're pretending to work or pay attention. If you're in that group, all you need to do is make sure that your headphone jack is plugged in and also make sure that you hit that like and share button so if you do get caught, you're not the only one getting caught. Or number three, and our favorite group, you're a troll. And listen, if you're a troll, we're still excited to have you. Whether you're in your mom's basement or you're just out sitting at McDonald's, whatever you're feeling at this moment, whatever that is, we are still excited to have you. And we want you to go ahead and like and share as well. But even if you're not going to do that, go ahead and get your insult comment in so you're nice and warmed up. It can either be about my height, my weight, or the fact that I'm bald. And if you don't know me, I'm Grant Foster. And for you guys that I've had the opportunity and the pleasure to hang out with on the field, I'm also known as Hobbit. Listen, we've got a lot of great stuff coming up, but for you guys to be involved and to kind of get connected with us a little bit better as we look at the product line for 2022, we want to ask you first and foremost, if you're in-house, make sure that you mute or silence your phone. If you're online, it's up to you whether you want to do that, but it's probably not going to work out pretty well. And then the other thing we want to tell you is this. We are going to go ahead and jump into some of your questions because with all of this excitement, with all of these new things coming up, we want to make sure that you get the opportunity to be involved in the conversation. So if you would, make sure in the comment section that you post any questions. At the end of today's announcements, we're going to get into some of those questions and make sure that you get some of your answers. Listen, we are so excited to get started, and I hope you're ready to get started as well. So let's kick it off right now.
The MTW Limited Edition is an exclusive project from Wolverine Airsoft, based on the flagship Forged Series MTW. Only 250 of these beautiful guns will be manufactured. The limited edition includes a wide range of special features, beginning with the burnt bronze Cerakote. Each lower has a custom deep engraving with the limited edition and one of 250 unique serial number on the lower. They will also come with our new CNC hop-up, paired with a ZCI 6.02 285mm barrel and a Maple Leaf 70-degree hop-up rubber. The limited edition will be powered by the legendary Gen 2 Inferno and will include a new premium trigger board, which features an optical selector switch for improved durability.
Each MTW Limited Edition will ship with a bronze challenge coin, with a specific serial number matching your rifle, as well as a certificate of authenticity signed by Rich. In addition to the Wolverine Airsoft website, the limited edition will be released at a simultaneous worldwide launch with a number of participating dealers.
Creating the limited edition MTW truly has been a labor of love, and we hope that you will enjoy it as much as we have enjoyed making this one-of-a-kind MTW masterpiece.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you for being here and bearing with us as we work through these technical difficulties. Did a dry run, everything went perfectly smooth, and then you go live, and this is how it works. So we'll get through it, and we'll move on. So for those of you that have been following along, this is not a new announcement. You guys have seen us talk about the limited edition for a while now, but what we are going to do is we are going to show you all the final details on the limited edition. You guys know the story with this. Supply chain has been a total wreck. The global supply chain, we haven't been able to get the forgings that we use for our forge series and our mil-spec guns. So when we got down to the last few forgings, we decided we really wanted to do something special. We didn't want to just sell the rest of them out and be done until we could get more parts. So what we've done is we've gone through the whole forge series, and we've tried to turn every piece of this gun up to 11. Just do something a little bit special with each of the parts. So on the exterior, we'll take a look at that first. You guys know it has the gorgeous burnt bronze Cerakote. Sets off really nicely with the black features. Whole package looks awesome. We've also put an engraving. It says limited edition and has a unique 1 of 250 serial number on the outside of the gun. Internally, while it has all the standard forged features internally, we're introducing a new version of our premium electronics. This has the optical selector switch, which improves the durability and robustness of the system as a whole. Additionally, we're for the first time offering the CNC machined hop-up unit in this, pairing that with a ZCI stainless steel barrel and a maple leaf 70-degree bucking. Comes out of the box pre-upgraded, ready to go. On the package, we didn't want to just send it in our normal box, so we custom designed and ordered matching black and bronze boxes to go with the gun. Looks really, really beautiful. And then you open up the box, and inside you're going to have two more things that are unique to this sort of collector's edition gun, and that is a bronze challenge coin that has a matching serial number to the serial number on your gun, and a certificate of authenticity that, again, has a matching serial number, the 1 of 250. But what you guys really haven't heard about this is all the release details. So we're going to go ahead and give them to you now. There will be 250 of these guns built. The release date is March 23rd. We have already started shipping these to dealers. The goal is to have them all at dealers on the release date. So go ahead and get in touch with your local dealer, see if they have them. We will be posting a list of all the dealers that have ordered the limited edition guns in the show notes here, as well as on the product page on our website. MSRP will be $1,300 on these, and we expect them to go pretty quick. So if you want one, get in touch with your retailer ahead of time and be ready on March 23rd to jump on one.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. Listen, I've been in airsoft for over a decade now, and we've seen the industry change a lot and a lot of new things happen. One of the things that I really loved is the fact that when we got to the point of the MTW, it was a game changer. And so a lot of us have been looking forward to the new things and the new advances. And as we get to this limited edition, if you're anything like me, if you're an addict when it comes to airsoft, you are already going through your gear set thinking, what can I sell to level this out and make sure I get one of these in my hands? So make sure you get started now before those are released, as Rich said. As we go into our next lineup, we've got a lot of the things that are still right around the corner. And one of the big things is the way in which we look at products that actually... Hold on. Stand by for just a second. Rich, you might want to hold on.
No gun can outperform the regulator that it's attached to. This is maybe one of the most underappreciated facts within the sort of HPA airsoft industry. It's something that we realized very early on, and it's the reason that we originally released the Storm regulator, because we wanted to offer a regulator that was able to allow our systems to function at peak performance. After we introduced the storm regulator, we developed a whole family of products based on that sort of storm technology. All of our Wraith stocks, for those of you that are familiar with it, along with a high pressure variant, in-grip variants, things like that. We've spent the past 7 years perfecting that design, trying to squeeze every last little bit of performance out of it that we can, making small updates here and there. But about a year ago, we decided to go back to the drawing board and start with a completely blank sheet of paper and say, with everything that we've learned over the past 7 years, how can we create the best airsoft regulator that has ever been made? Now, what we've come up with is a single regulator that simultaneously improves performance, reliability, and adaptability, that's able to meet both the demands of high precision, high pressure applications, say in airsoft sniping, as well as very low pressure, fast refresh rates, like you might have in Speedsoft or with a support weapon. We've also improved the user serviceability. And unlike last time, where we started with the regulator and then developed all the other surrounding systems afterwards, well, today what we're announcing is the Storm Category 5 on-tank regulator, and that's what we will be releasing first. While we did the redesign of the regulator itself, we redesigned the entire family of products at one time so that everything seamlessly works together. So create an overall improved user experience, easier serviceability, and parts access, regardless of which product family you're using. For those of you that like specs and details are a little bit nerdy in this regard, like me, this is going to be the most fun presentation. Those of you that don't, hang in there. I'm going to try to make it not get too engineering. All right? So let's go over the specs real quickly. Pressure range is 60 to 180 psi, which will cover the entire operating pressure range of all of our product lines. We've simplified the tournament lock design to make it just something very simple and robust. And while it wasn't part of our original design goals, we ended up making a package that's 12% shorter than our current regulator design. Internally, the piston area is 36% larger than our current standard pressure regulator, which is a major contributor to how we're able to achieve faster and higher precision refresh. In addition, advances in the design have allowed us to reduce 2 of the sealing surfaces. That means that you'll have improved reliability and durability over the lifetime of the regulator. We're going to take a look at a little bit of data here. This is data from tests that we ran, and if you, those of you that aren't used to looking at charts, don't worry about it too much. But if you look over on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that there are 2 basic groups of data. One is our sample set. Those are our new Category 5 regulators. And then you have our control group, controls 1, 2, and 3, which are our current storm high pressure regulators. And if you dig into this data, you find that both sets are very good, but there's a couple things that I want you to notice. One is that with the Category 5 regulator, this is a 20-shot grouping fired on full auto at 20 rounds per second. Okay, so this is not semi-auto, the controlled groups. This is reasonably high rate of fire refresh measurements. And you'll find with all of the Category 5 regulators, there's actually a slight upward trend in the data. If you look at the trend lines, I apologize, wrong button. There's a slight upward slope to the data. Not much, but over the course of about 20 shots, on average, you go up about 1 to 2 FPS. What that means is that even at 20 rounds per second, the regulator is more than keeping up with the refresh needs of the gun. Second is that while all of the groupings are actually quite tight, the variation is only a couple FPS one way or the other, the control group, which is our existing reg design, tends to sawtooth more. It tends to jump up and below the average from one shot to the next. And if we move on to some statistics pulled out of this data, that shows up in a really interesting way, because what you find is that the standard deviation is pretty consistent between one and the other, about 2 FPS per shot standard deviation. Very, very good statistics on that. Same with the normalized range. Both the normalized range and the standard deviation of the sample set is slightly better than our existing than our control group, but not dramatically. But if you jump down to your average shot-to-shot variation, that average shot-to-shot variation is a measure of, on average, how much does the shot vary from the one immediately before it. And this is what you actually detect the most when you're using a gun. If shot 1 and shot 20 in your grouping is 5 FPS different, you're not gonna be able to notice that. But if shot 1 is different from shot 2 and shot 9 is different from shot 10, then that's gonna show up more. And what we find with the new Category 5 regulator is that across the board, these are your Category 5 regulators, these are your 3 existing design. Again, the number's small in either case, about a couple of FPS. But it's noticeably tighter with the new design than with the previous design, again, indicating the fast refresh and performance on the new Category 5 regulator. The first batch of Storm Category 5 regulators is already in production. We expect to be shipping them April to May of this year. One other thing I'm going to point out, and I've mentioned this on some of our live streams for those of you that have been watching, but one of our goals as a company right now is to find good manufacturing partners. There are certain things that we do extremely well, and there are certain things that other people can do better than us. So we're very excited that with the new Category 5 regulator, we're going to be including lines that are now manufactured by Amped Airsoft. We've partnered with them to supply all of the lines for all of our regulators, and we're really looking forward to that. Again, let them do something that they're very good at, and let us focus on the things that we have developed an expertise in. MSRP on the Storm Category 5 is going to be $135, and we look forward to getting these out to you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. Listen, if you are someone that's running a regulator off your system, I'm telling you right now, you can't wait to get your hands on this, because this is a game changer in a lot of ways. I mean, just the weight, the solid build of it, and overall, a lot of the changes that are going to be coming, I think, are going to change the way the game is played, because if you look at that grouping, it's really going to be something that's going to be hard to keep up with from a lot of different industries. Now, I got to tell you also, Rich, I've known you for about 5 years, and I love when you get into details, because my brain does not work at that level, but for somebody that does, it's amazing to hear you talk about it and kind of get those specs. But I got to tell you, there was one detail I did not see when you went through the graphics, and I really want to know, and I hope this is on the next presentation, but I'd like to know how, number one, this is going to make me look cooler, and number two, if it can make me look any taller. Is that something you can answer?
I don't know about whether. I don't know whether we can make it look cooler.
Okay,
but
all right.
It may make you look taller because it's shorter. So
12%. 12%. See, I caught that part. All right. If I could be 12% taller, that'd be great. Anyway, as far as the cool factor, I'll just focus on wearing more multicam, because you can't hit me if I'm wearing multicam. So I'm really excited about what's coming up. Listen, as we continue to roll forward with the new products for 2022, this next one in particular, I'm really excited about, because this is really a platform that's going to affect my gameplay personally, and I'm just excited to see what comes out. So hold on for this one. Now, if you're watching this right now, the Billet series MTW probably needs no introduction.
It's our best-selling product line, and it really set a new standard when we introduced it a few years ago in terms of durability and out-of-the-box performance. But one question that I've gotten over the years is, Rich, for a really high-quality gun, why does it come with really basic furniture? Why don't you put fancier furniture on there? And the answer to that has always been that our goal as a company with MTW and with all of our products is to offer high value to cost ratio products. And so one way that we can do that is by focusing the money and the effort that we put into the product on things that people are going to keep, not the stuff that they're going to replace. So a lot of people like to replace their stocks and their grips with their own selection of things. So rather than spending extra money on them, spend money on the parts of the gun that they're going to keep. So that's always been our philosophy. However, as we've grown, as the customer base has expanded, we've gotten more and more requests for guns that come pre-upgraded, essentially, with furniture that is game ready. So what you get with the tactical trim in the Billet series is an out-of-the-box pre-upgraded gun ready to play. Grab your favorite optic, throw it on the top, and you're ready to go. I'm going to take a step back real quick because I used a couple terms. I used series and trim, and I want to explain what those are because we haven't always used our terminology very carefully, so I want to clarify this for everybody. When we're talking about a series within a product line, a series shares all of the core parts of the platform. So we have our Billet series and we have our Forged series. Within a series, you're going to share the same receiver set, the same engine, electronics, things like that, the core parts of the gun. However, within a given series, different trim levels may have changes to the more aesthetic or minor parts of the gun. So different furniture, stock scripts, rails, flash hiders, things like that. So I just wanted to clarify that because as we introduce more product lines, we're going to be trying to be more careful about what we call things so that customers can understand what it is that we're talking about exactly. I apologize, I went the wrong direction. So let's take a look at the external features, external furniture on the Billet Tactical. At the back end, we've selected DLG Tactical Furniture. Now, many of you may not be familiar with that brand, but this is a company that we found that offers some really high quality and really interesting features on their furniture. Now, for instance, I'll just show you real quickly the stocks here. Rather than having to rip your fingernails off trying to get the stock off the back, there's a very simple mechanism. You can adjust it, but then if you want to remove it, you pop it down harder and it comes right off. Same for reinstallation. Nice and convenient. Very high quality, very good fit and finish, nice rubberized, thick rubberized butt pad, and then QD sling points and all that good stuff. The grip works really well for this application because there's a snap-in base cap that already has an opening that the airline is able to come out of, but also works well as a battery compartment if you want to store the battery in your grip instead of in the stock. Makes the package really nice. If we move to the front end, we're introducing a new rail from Invictus Manufacturing. This is the Invictus MK1 rail. And we love how this thing looks as well as how it functions. Particularly think it looks good with the rest of the Billet receiver set. But a couple features real quick. It has indexing tabs at the top so that your rail stays indexed to your upper receiver. And then it has the full M-lock on 7 sides going all the way around. We're really excited about this rail design. It will eventually be rolled out into the rest of the Billet series, but for now you'll see it first on the Billet Tactical. At the very front, we'll be including a steel cage-style flash hider. Again, everything you need pre-upgraded out of the box, ready to go. Throw on your optic or sights of your choice and get on the field. Internally, it has all the standard features of the Billet series. Again, it's part of the Billet series, so it's going to share the same engine and electronics like we talked about just a minute ago. However, there are a couple features that, again, will eventually be implemented in the rest of the Billet series, but you're going to see them first on this tactical edition. Tactical trim. A couple of these features are things that we've taken a page out of the playbook of high-end AR manufacturers. So one of them is the rear spring retaining screw. This is a real small spring that holds in the rear spring and detent for the takedown pin at the back. This is really nice when you're working on the gun, because rather than having to try to keep track of that spring and detent and keep from losing them because they're real small parts, everything's held in the gun. You can remove the buffer tube, no problem. The second, again, is a feature out of sort of some high-end ARs, is a screw that sits between the upper and lower receiver. Now, it won't come installed this way because this is something you kind of want to set up the way that you want it, but there will be a thread location in the base of the receiver so that you can install a screw that just puts a little bit of pressure between the upper and lower receiver, so you can take some of the play that you get with both AR-15 and the MTW style receiver set out. Another upgrade or update that you'll see with this gun, but it's actually being rolled out across all of our product lines, is the IFL, Integrated Filtered Line. Many of you may know that we launched the filtered grip line probably about 5 years ago, give or take now, which has a filter inside the line which keeps dirt and debris out of your system. We wanted to find a way to integrate this across all of our products. So that's what the integrated filtered line is. It's a simplified version of our existing FGL that will be coming on all of our standard engines and guns, so that when you get the gun, it'll already be protected straight out of the box. The first batch of Forged Series, of Billet Series tactical trim is already in production. We're estimating to start shipping this May, and the MSRP is going to be $775.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. I'm really excited about this for a lot of different reasons. I do want to go back to something you pointed out when you went to the specs. When we talk about the rail system itself, the Invictus rail system, I noticed there at the end it says RS. What's the RS stand for, and what is that going to mean for us?
So this is new for us. Invictus Manufacturing is our sister company. Spent the past 3 years now sort of perfecting, or 2 years for rails, perfecting our rail manufacturing sort of processes. And the MK1 rail is actually going to be the first rail from Invictus Manufacturing, which will also be offered as a real steel variant as well. So making a version for actual firearms as well.
Fantastic. And the reason I love the MTW so much, and you just kind of touched on it there for just a second, talking about the real steel aspect, is coming from a law enforcement background, I've always loved the MTW because it stands for Modular Training Weapon. And that's exactly what it is. From that standpoint, to be able to train with something that you're not burning through brass, you're not using up everything you've got, but you can go through and pull it out of the box, and you're ready to start working on some tactics, whether for real life or just for the airsoft field. You can get sharper on that. And the reason I've liked my MTW so much is because I can literally take it and set it up exactly like my real steel, have it mock on mock, work through it. Now with this Billet series, what's great is if you're just starting out or you're just learning what works tactically when you're training, this is a great one to pull straight out of the box and say, okay, I like this, I don't like this, but like you said, all you got to do is snap an optic on it and you're ready to go. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Now the truth is, anytime we start getting into a product like the MTW that's great, as time goes on, we're going to see it begin to get leaner, meaner, and better. And for this next product video, I'm really excited because this is what it means to literally get lean with the MTW.
Is it to your liking, sir?
Do you have anything stronger?
I believe we can accommodate. Do you need compact or firepower?
Actually, I was hoping for a bit of both.
I believe I have just the thing.
From the very beginning, when we first introduced the MTW, what I told you guys was that we weren't just looking to make a gun. What we were looking to develop was an entire ecosystem that customers could buy into and then have easy adaptability to whatever they wanted to do. And I also told you that if you guys bought enough of them, we'd give you more options. So this is one of our first major steps in that direction, to give you guys something that still works within that ecosystem, but gives you a different platform to work on. What the MTW-9 offers is a ground-up built HPA pistol caliber carbine platform. It exists within the same MTW ecosystem, as I said. So all of the modules, all of the things that you can do with the MTW work with the MTW-9. It shares upper receivers, shares barrels, electronics, hop-ups, all that kind of stuff. All cross-compatible, giving you more options working within the MTW world. Now we're going to talk about the series features first, and then we're going to talk about the different trim levels that we will be offering the MTW-9 with. So the series features, again, just to remind everybody, like we said a minute ago, the series features are universal across all of the MTW-9 series. The trim features will be different across the different trims. So to start off with, we have a billet machined upper and lower receiver. The 9mm receiver is unique to this platform. It is not a mag adapter, it's nothing like that. It is a dedicated 9mm lower receiver for the MTW. It utilizes EVO magazines, which means that we have the empty mag detection and bolt relief functionality just like you would on the standard MTW. And it works with standard M4 style fire controls, with the exception of the mag release. So all of your trigger, your bolt catch, your selector switch, standard M4 style controls. But it uses the EVO, actually a real steel compatible EVO mag release. So again, I'm all about customizability. I don't know if that's actually a word, but we're going to go with it. Giving you guys options to customize the gun however you want, especially with real steel parts, because that's just cool. Okay, it's just really fun when you can put real steel parts on your airsoft gun. So this uses a real steel compatible EVO, CZ EVO mag release. Internally, we'll have the Gen 2 Inferno, the newest version of our Spartan electronics with the optical selector switch, and then you're going to have a 7-inch external barrel, as well as a 7-inch version of the Invictus M-Lock Advanced rail. We've never made a 7-inch version of this before. It looks really good on this gun. And one of the things that we did with this, as we're sort of laying out all the details of this package, is we moved the engraving, which is normally on the side of these rails, to the bottom. So you get a really clean sort of side profile look on the gun. Makes it look really, really sharp. 3 different trim levels, and we're going to go through these and talk about each one. The first one is the one that's going to have furniture like you would expect like you guys are used to seeing on the Billet MTW series. LE style stock, A2 grip. Again, basic furniture. This one's going to be a great option if you know you're going to customize the gun yourself and you're going to pull all that furniture off and put whatever you want out. Anyway, this is what you want. The second trim is going to look very familiar because we just talked about the Billet Tactical. Now we have the MTW-9 Tactical. It's going to share the same stock and grip with all the same advantages that we talked about just a minute ago. In addition, we're including this Warthog flash hider. Now this is a custom flash hider that we designed and machined in-house. Fits just inside the front of the rail and really gives a seamless look to this gun. The top trim level is going to be the MTW-9 PDW, and that's the one you see on the table here. And this features all the same stuff as the tactical trim, but in place of the buffer tube and DLG stock, we have something that's a little new for us. This looks familiar to some of you that are familiar with our product lines, but this is the Wraith PDW stock minus the Wraith. It's the easiest way to think about it. We've taken the Wraith PDW stock, and in place of the regulator and CO2 adapter section, we've put in a battery compartment that you can easily remove from the back, so you don't have to open up the gun to access the battery. Again, DLG grip, which also works as a battery compartment if you prefer that, so you got all the options. And then the Warthog flash hider on the front. The first batch of these is already in assembly. We will be shipping these later this month. The first shipment will be only PDW and tactical trim levels. We'll be offering the standard trim at a later date. And the second batch is currently in production, currently in machining, and the estimated ship date is April to May timeframe. Now, for those of you that are trying to figure out how the fastest way to get one is, fastest way is going to be to go to your dealer and get one. The first batch will be sold exclusively through dealers. After the first batch is sold, we will start, we will accept orders on our website, but they will be filled from the second batch. So if you want it quickly, go find your dealer and get in touch with them and get one on order, because that's going to be the fastest way to get one.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. I told you guys we were going to get into some of your questions today. You've seen a lot of great products that are coming out that are going to continue to lead the way in innovation, and we're excited to see how, in a lot of ways, that's going to disrupt the industry in a good way. It's going to pull things up to a new standard and a new level of expectation. I hope you've been asking your questions, and we've got a couple we're going to go through, but if you haven't asked your questions yet, I want you to go ahead and jump on the comment section right now. Make sure that you like the video and share it as well, because we want to add as many people to the conversation as we can. But we are going to ask Rich to answer just a couple of these questions. I guess I'm going to start with one question, and that is, what of the 4 products coming out for 2022 are you the most excited about? I mean, they're all great products, but what are you personally the most excited about?
I'm personally probably the most excited about the MTW-9. It's something I've been working on for a while. It's been in my design files for a while, and getting to make this new platform. It's a lot of fun for me, and it's something a little bit different. A lot of people are wanting 9mm platforms right now, and having an option that has all the durability and the options of the MTW, but in a 9mm platform, that's really cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be awesome for the CQB world.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's going to change it. So I'm really excited, too, about this first name on our questions from online, and I'm loving it. It's Air Fawn Softballs. Wants to ask, wonder if tactical buttstock wobbles. That was the question.
Well, I'll grab it for you. How's that?
Excellent.
It actually, I mean, you have a tiny bit of movement, but there's not hardly any. It actually has tabs on the side here. One of the cool features of this stock. You have to have a little bit of play, otherwise you can't adjust. That's just how it works. But it actually has these little tabs on the side that kind of flex in and push up against the up against the buffer tube to reduce the wobble in the stock. So
awesome.
Very nice fit and finish.
Thanks. Awesome. Thanks, Air Fawns. We appreciate it. Also, the next one, Alex, we're glad you're joining us online as well. Alex wants to ask this question: any plans of modification for the black screws to have a better contact with less restriction from upper to the electronica board? I think that's what they meant.
That was actually changed like 6 months ago or something.
Awesome.
We went to a stainless steel screw in that location about 6 months ago. We actually didn't have any problems with them until we got one batch in that was different.
Sure.
And so we went to a stainless steel screw to eliminate that as a variable.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Alex, make sure you check that out as that's been updated. And also, thanks for the question. We want to go to Sam. And Sam wants to ask this question. And you went over a little bit, but maybe just a recap for our viewers that are just getting in to the MTW world, or to any of the products for that matter. They want to ask, the IFL doesn't make sense, is what they say. To me, can you explain what that is a little better?
So the IFL... IFL stands for Integrated Filtered Line. So our traditional FGL, filtered grip line, has a multi-part design where you can unscrew the two halves. There's a little filter element that sits inside. With the IFL, what we've done is we've taken the filter element and we've essentially press fit the filter element up inside the fitting, and it just stays there. So it's just a simpler design that accomplishes very much the same thing. And that came down to the fact that when I initially designed the FGL, my thought was, well, people are going to want to service this. They're going to want to replace the filters to do that kind of stuff. But over the 5 years we've been making them, we've sold like no replacement filters whatsoever. So I don't think people actually replace them. I think they just wash them out or blow them off or whatever. So it was sort of ended up being a bit over-designed for the application, if you will.
Awesome. Okay. All right, let's move on to this one. One of our viewers asked, will the 9 lower work with the old upper?
It will. It's completely cross-compatible. So all of there's only a few unique parts. You have a few parts in the lower, obviously, because it takes the 9mm mags, the mag catches for the Evo. In the upper, unless I am forgetting something, which is possible, the only unique part in the upper different between the M4 style upper and the 9mm style upper is the feed tube. And that feed tube will snap into the same retention clip at the front. It's just literally a different feed tube. Everything else on the upper is the same as far as I can remember off the top of my head.
Awesome. So that's an easy changeover if you want to make that. And you can have both lowers with you.
Yep.
You can switch it out of the game.
You get a 9mm and you get your standard one, and you can swap the uppers however you want, and have lots of different variations of your builds to play with.
Great. A couple more questions that we've got, and this one is from Corin. Corin, thanks for viewing with us today. Corin wants to ask, why Evo mags instead of the MP5 mags on this 9? Personally, I think aesthetically the Evo mags are the best. That's open for debate, but I think when you pair them with the upper, they're the best aesthetically. 2, the mag catch is definitely the best from a functional standpoint, in my opinion. And 3, you get the empty mag detection. There's not MP5 mags available on the market that have the empty mag detection, which is sort of one of the core features of the MTW product line, and we wanted to maintain that in the 9mm variant. Okay. Brian Harvard wants to ask this question: will the 9 be compatible with Wraith and Arrow stocks?
It absolutely will. It's the MTW-9 is part of the MTW family of products. It exists in that same ecosystem. So if you already have a Wraith stock, or you want to get a Wraith stock for it, or you have an Arrow stock, you want to put that on there, all of those parts are cross-compatible. You can take pretty much any part that works on the MTW, and it will work on the MTW-9.
Okay, all right. And then, of course, the question we know we're going to get every time there's a launch or any new product reveal.
Oh, no.
Everybody, the audience here could probably ask this question. I don't even have to read it out loud. Why not an AK?
I'll give you the honest answer. An AK is a completely different platform for us. We've invested a lot in developing this sort of ecosystem of products, and an AK would not, in all likelihood, work with all of those. It would be a very different platform. You could make it cross-compatible with some potential. So that's the one factor. The other factor is honestly what we're set up to manufacture right now. We're a small U.S.-based manufacturer. We don't have a metal stamping facility. AK receivers are in general stamped. While you could theoretically do a billet version, it's far less common, and we have to operate within what we're able to do right now. I'm not going to say never, but right now this was a more logical next step in terms of offering different options. And I'll say the same thing that I said when we first launched the gun line. I want to give you guys tons of more options. So I'll speak personally. I can't express enough how thankful I am for the support that we've received since we launched this product line. It's been a bit overwhelming, but if we're able to continue providing you guys with products you want to buy, I'll keep making new ones.
Awesome. That sounds like a plan. One of the questions I got, and I don't know how you want to handle this, and you may want to hold off. This might be a teaser here in a sense, but what about other new offerings later this? That's all I got from my computer guys. So I'm guessing later this year. Any other offerings that you want to let anybody know? Just have to wait and see.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Come
to wait and
on,
see.
I was trying to get a spoiler. something.
You're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We very likely will offer some more new things for the second half of this year. It's not fully decided which things those would be yet. We have options, but we very likely will offer some things later this year. But we try to stagger our product updates so that you're not getting like. If you buy the MTW-9, you're not, with whatever re-release, 6 months from now or whatever, you're not going to be like, oh, well, now that's obsolete. We try to offer different things to different segments of the market at different times. So hopefully if things go well, we'll be able to show you something that's pretty different maybe this fall or something.
Looking forward to it. Listen, we want to thank everybody for coming out today. If you've been here with us in-house, we've had a great time. If you've been online, thanks so much for joining us online. Make sure you like and share this as we kind of continue throughout the year. We're going to be looking forward to more stuff from Wolverine. Wolverine continues to innovate and lead the way in a lot of ways. But we want also for you to make sure you follow the pages so you know what's up and what's coming out. And remember that Airsoft is a big playing field, and there's a lot more to adapt to. But with Wolverine specifically, remember their plan, their movement forward is to create disruptive technology in the world of airsoft and set new standards. So we are so excited about that. If you're in-house, we did have some technical difficulties. Also, if you're online, you can stick around. We're going to replay some of our videos so you can make sure you get a full experience with those. And thank you so much for being here with Airsoft today.
The MTW Limited Edition is an exclusive project from Wolverine Airsoft, based on the flagship Forged Series MTW. Only 250 of these beautiful guns will be manufactured. The limited edition includes a wide range of special features, beginning with the burnt bronze Cerakote. Each lower has a custom deep engraving with the limited edition and a 1 of 250 unique serial number on the lower. They will also come with our new CNC hop-up, paired with a ZCI 6.02 285mm barrel and a maple leaf 70-degree hop-up rubber. The limited edition will be powered by the legendary Gen 2 Inferno and will include a new premium trigger board which features an optical selector switch for improved durability.
Each MTW Limited Edition will ship with a bronze challenge coin, with a specific serial number matching your rifle, as well as a certificate of authenticity signed by Rich. In addition to the Wolverine Airsoft website, the limited edition will be released at a simultaneous worldwide launch with a number of participating dealers.
Creating the limited edition MTW truly has been a labor of love, and we hope that you will enjoy it as much as we have enjoyed making this one-of-a-kind MTW masterpiece.
your liking, sir?
Do you have anything stronger?
I believe we can accommodate. Do you need compact or firepower?
Actually, I was hoping for a bit of both.
I believe I have just the thing.
Hit.
Johnny, Paul, get back to work.